In the best of circumstances. The attention was clearly on Afghanistan, and there were even some commentators here in Israel who felt that Bennett might have at least offered to cancel the meeting in order to allow the administration to completely focus on Afghanistan. But the meeting did happen in the end, and it served its purpose. I think both sides wanted to show off a very good relationship between the current administration and the current Israeli government. I think the American administration is happy to see somebody who is not Benjamin Netanyahu sitting in the prime minister's seat in Israel. And there is also a beginning of mending the fences between the Israeli government and the Democratic Party in the United States. As for substance, all the obvious issues were there. Iran, where there is a growing dialogue, although I'm not certain that there is an alignment of positions completely between Washington and Jerusalem, even today. I think Naftali Bennett would have liked the American administration to go a step or two further than they did in waving the stick towards Iran. But we'll see how that develops in the next few weeks.
So given what you've just said, do you believe this meeting could have given Israel a little more influence at all over the US, especially when it comes to Iran?
Look, I think Israel had influence before, to be fair. It would be unreasonable to say that Israel did not have influence. But the question is, does the United States budge from its own positions just because it's influenced by a close ally like Israel? So here the question is different. But if you compare not the Netanyahu-Trump relationship, but the Netanyahu-Obama relationship, we have stepped a huge step forward in the degree of coordination, of friendliness, and of a feeling of confidence between the two parties that Israel will not go behind the back of the US president and will try and keep an open channel of communication. That is a good thing. I think that Israel should be in a dialogue, in a constant dialogue with the US on the Iranian issue.
Ambassador Shek, I want to now talk about the Palestinian issue. It was largely sort of avoided in these statements put out by these two world leaders, but obviously spoken about at length behind closed doors. Do you believe this could potentially be a point of division between the pair?
I actually don't, because it used to be referred to as the elephant in the room, but it has somehow shrunk from the size of an elephant to the size of a much smaller animal, to the great distress of the Palestinians. But the truth is that the political situation, both in Israel and in the Palestinian Authority, does not allow a real breakthrough on the Palestinian issue. And I think even the Biden administration, which has motivation, which would have liked to see things moving forward on the peace process with the Palestinians, realized that. So the question is, what is the margin of action? What can be achieved? And plenty can be achieved, even if you don't try and do the big step towards a political agreement between Israel and the Palestinians. There are economic issues, there are environmental issues, there are human issues, education, all sorts of things that can move the situation forward for the Palestinians. And I just hope that the Palestinians will be attentive to that and will not immediately try and just do the big step and an all or nothing approach.
Are we hearing any reaction from them at all?
Well, I think that there is a general wish on the Palestinian side to test the Americans. They feel that there is a positive attitude in Washington, far more positive than during the Trump administration, which obviously is not putting the bar very high. But it is an improvement, and I don't think that they want to quarrel with the Biden administration just yet.
All right, Ambassador Daniel Shek, thank you so very much for coming in.